Long before the Silk Road crossed continents and long before great empires carved their borders into history, vast maritime trade networks connected civilizations across oceans. They carried spices, metals, ceramics, and stories between cultures that never wrote down their relationships. Many of these sea routes disappeared entirely, buried under rising tides, shifting sands, and political collapse. Only now are archaeologists piecing together the forgotten highways of the ancient world. Subscribe for more history resurfacing from where the maps end. Much of what we know about ancient trade comes from written texts, Roman ledgers, Egyptian scrolls, Greek accounts. But the sea has always preserved a deeper, unwritten version of history. For centuries, sailors navigated coastlines that have since vanished beneath rising sea levels. Their ports, once bustling with merchants, lie drowned on continental shelves. These routes were so vital that losing them reshaped entire cultures. One of the earliest forgotten maritime networks connected the ancient Egyptians with the Land of Punt, an elusive kingdom described as a source of gold, incense, and exotic animals. Egyptian reliefs depict massive ships loaded with goods, yet the exact location of Punt remains unknown. Recent underwater findings near the Red Sea hint at ancient harbors that once supported these expeditions, revealing a maritime highway lost to time. Archaeologists discovered planks, ropes, and storage jars in the sands of Wadi Gavassis, suggesting long voyages across the Red Sea. Yet beyond these clues, no complete map survives. Some historians believe the Egyptians traded with coastal communities in Eritrea or Somalia. Others argue Punt lay much farther south. The truth remains hidden, making this one of history's most mysterious maritime routes. Equally enigmatic were the trade networks of the Phoenicians, a seafaring civilization that dominated the Mediterranean. Their purple dye and cedar wood traveled across continents, yet many of their routes remain unrecorded. Phoenician sailors guarded their knowledge fiercely, refusing to document their passages. Their secret lanes through the Atlantic, possibly reaching Cornwall for tin, vanished when their cities fell to conquest. Phoenician harbors now lie underwater along the coasts of Lebanon, Israel, and Tunisia. Earthquakes and subsidence pulled entire port districts into the sea. Divers exploring these ruins found stone anchors, cargo jars, and breakwaters that once supported a massive maritime network. Without written charts, these structures are the only evidence of the Phoenicians' forgotten sea highways. Another vanished route lies in the Persian Gulf, where the Dilmun civilization once thrived as a trading hub linking Mesopotamia with India. Ancient texts reference Dilmun frequently, describing it as a land of beauty and abundance. Yet the physical remains of its maritime connections are scattered and submerged. Many coastal settlements were drowned as sea levels rose during the Bronze Age. Researchers mapping the Gulf floor found traces of ancient river channels, piers, and ship remains. These discoveries suggest that the Gulf was once a shallow, fertile region dotted with maritime towns. As the ocean advanced, trade shifted, and the routes disappeared from history. Only recently have sonar scans recovered the outlines of Dilmun's harbors. South along the Indian coast, another missing network linked Harappan cities with Arabia, Mesopotamia, and Southeast Asia. Excavations in Lothal and Dolavira revealed sophisticated dockyards and trade goods from faraway lands. Yet the maritime paths themselves, how ships navigated, where they resupplied, which ports they linked, remain largely invisible due to the absence of written records. The Indus Valley civilization had no surviving texts detailing their maritime practices. Their knowledge, carried orally, vanished after their decline. What remains are scattered artifacts. Beads found in Oman, Mesopotamian seals in India, and shards of Harappan pottery on foreign shores. These provide tantalizing hints of a vast network erased by silence and time. Along the East African coast, the Swahili maritime culture thrived for more than 1,000 years. Their ports, Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar, connected Africa to Arabia, India, and China. Yet many earlier settlements lie submerged or buried under centuries of shifting coastline. Monsoon winds once carried Swahili sailors across oceans, but the details of their earliest routes remain lost. Archaeologists uncovered Chinese porcelains, Indian beads, and Persian coins in Swahili ruins, proving the existence of extensive maritime exchanges. But without written records, researchers rely solely on material clues. Rising seas erased many coastal towns, leaving only faint traces where once there were bustling markets and shipyards. Southeast Asia hosted one of history's most dynamic maritime networks, stretching from Indonesia to Vietnam and the Philippines. Known as the Maritime Silk Road, it connected kingdoms long before China documented the region. Yet many of its earliest routes vanished completely due to volcanic eruptions, shifting islands and storms that altered coastlines beyond recognition. The eruption of Krakatoa in 535 CE is believed to have destroyed entire maritime hubs and rerouted trade. Ancient harbors along Sumatra and Java sank beneath ash and rising seas. Divers have found pottery, anchors, and remnants of ancient piers beneath layers of volcanic deposits. These hint at thriving ports that disappeared in days. Another vanished route connected Southeast Asia to the remote island of Madagascar. Genetic evidence shows that Austronesian sailors reached Madagascar around 1,200 years ago, crossing nearly 4,000 miles of open ocean. Yet no maps, logs, or ship descriptions survive. Their voyage was a maritime accomplishment, rivaling any in history, now obscured by time. Linguistic similarities between Malagasy and Indonesian languages prove the link. Pottery fragments and DNA data provide clues, but the exact route, whether through India, Sri Lanka, or directly across the Indian Ocean, remains unknown. It is one of the greatest unsolved maritime journeys, hidden behind a silence thousands of miles wide. In China, early records describe mysterious merchants known as the Kunlun sailors, believed to be Southeast Asian mariners who visited Chinese ports centuries before official diplomatic missions. Their routes connected distant islands to the Chinese mainland. Yet most knowledge of their journeys vanished due to political shifts and lost archives. Shipwrecks found in the South China Sea contain goods from Java, Cambodia, Vietnam, and the Philippines. These vessels often lack Chinese construction markers, confirming they belong to foreign traders. The trade routes that connected these worlds existed long before written Chinese maritime logs began, and disappeared long before they could be documented. Another vanished network lies in Japan's distant past. During the Yayoi and Kofun periods, maritime clans controlled waterways linking Japan to Korea and China. These clans transported bronze, pottery, and agricultural tools, shaping Japanese society. Yet their sea routes left little physical trace, erased as coastlines shifted and political power centralized. Researchers discovered ancient docks and ship planks buried under meters of silt in northern Kyushu. These remains hint at a vibrant maritime culture, exporting goods to the mainland. Still, no navigational documents survive, leaving scholars to reconstruct routes from scattered artifacts and buried harbors. Perhaps the most mysterious vanished routes belong to Southeast Asia's Srivijaya Empire. Once the lords of the sea, Srivijaya controlled trade across the Malacca Strait, but almost no physical structures remain. Their ports disappeared beneath silted rivers, while their records were lost to war. Their vast maritime network, once the backbone of Asian commerce, remains largely speculative. Underwater surveys near Palembang uncovered remnants of wooden walkways and ships buried deep below river mud. These suggest that Srivijaya's capital was once a sprawling port city. Yet rising water levels and sediment later engulfed it. Without clear written accounts, researchers must piece together one of Asia's greatest maritime powers from fragments alone. The Mediterranean, often considered thoroughly studied, still hides vanished roots. Before Greek and Roman dominance, the Sea peoples, Cypriots, Mycenaeans, and Minoans, operated extensive networks. Many of their ports have since sunk due to earthquakes. Atlantis, like cities such as Pavlopitri and Heracleion, give glimpses into these forgotten pathways. Pavlopitri, now submerged off Greece, shows roads and buildings aligned toward maritime access. Its layout suggests a structured trading hub. Heracleion in Egypt, once the gateway between Greek merchants and the Nile, reveals dozens of wrecks beneath its ruins. These cities indicate trade patterns lost after geological disasters reshaped the region. Along the Atlantic coasts of Europe, submerged forests and ancient riverbeds show that prehistoric people once navigated. Waterways now drowned beneath the Celtic Sea. Archaeologists found flint tools, fish traps, and boat fragments deep underwater. These remnants indicate long-forgotten maritime paths used by early traders and fishermen. During the last ice age, sea levels were nearly 120 meters lower. Europe's coastline extended far beyond its current borders. Vast networks of coastal villages and trade routes now lie hidden under the North Sea, a region known as Doggerland. Today, fishermen still pull up artifacts. bones, tools, even carved wooden pieces from what was once a bustling maritime world. Doggerland likely supported a complex marine culture, with people traveling between islands and river mouths. As the ice melted, catastrophic floods swallowed the land, erasing roots and forcing populations inland. Many of their maritime traditions vanished with them, leaving archaeologists to wonder how advanced their networks might have been. In Scandinavia, long before the Vikings, early seafarers navigated fjords and archipelagos with skill. Archaeological finds of stone anchors, harpoons, and boat timbers show that maritime trade existed at least 5,000 years before Norse longships. Yet, these earlier networks left almost no historical record, overshadowed by later Viking dominance. Traces of wooden docks, found in Danish bogs, alongside pottery from distant regions, reveal that Baltic trade was already active centuries before documented history. These early sailors connected remote farming communities, creating trade webs that vanished as cultures evolved and old harbors silted over. Further south, along the Arabian Sea, underwater surveys near Oman revealed ancient stone anchors, copper ingots, and ship ruins linked to early oceanic trade between Mesopotamia and India. These discoveries confirm the existence of maritime paths earlier than previously believed. But the exact routes they used, monsoons, hugging coastlines, or crossing open ocean, remain lost. Ancient inscriptions describe goods arriving from Makan, Magan, and Meluha, but do not detail how. Scholars suspect Makan refers to Oman, Magan to parts of Iran, and Meluha to the Indus region. However, without maps, the routes used by sailors remain among history's great mysteries. In the western Indian Ocean, volcanic islands like the Comoros and Seychelles served as resupply points for early mariners. Yet shifting sea levels and eruptions destroyed early settlements. Archaeologists found shards of pottery and fishhooks buried in coral, hinting at a vanished maritime network linking Africa, Arabia, and India long before written trade. The Silk Road is well known, but the Maritime Silk Road, its oceanic counterpart, remains far more mysterious. Before Zheng Qian's diplomatic missions established land connections, the sea carried silk, spices, and metalwork across continents. Many of the earliest ports associated with this route now lie underwater or beneath modern cities. In Vietnam, divers discovered a shipwreck containing ceramics destined for trade with China. This suggests a maritime network linking Southeast Asia to East Asia long before imperial records acknowledge it. The remains of ancient jetties and workshops nearby point to a thriving but undocumented coastal economy. Another missing link lies in the Andaman Sea. Early travelers described islands inhabited by skilled navigators who guided ships through dangerous passages. These indigenous maritime routes were never written down. As colonial powers arrived, many of these traditions were suppressed or forgotten, erasing centuries of localized sea knowledge. In the Bay of Bengal, ancient ports such as Tamarlipta and Chandraketugarh once connected India to Southeast Asia. Their ruins, now inland due to shifting rivers, contain artifacts from Rome, China, and Indonesia. These inland ruins remind researchers that coastlines migrate, and with them, entire trade worlds vanish from memory. Between Arabia and East Africa, monsoon-based routes enabled seasonal trade in spices, ivory, and textiles. Sailors timed their journeys with precise knowledge of winds, but much of this wisdom was orally transmitted. When societies collapsed or merged, their maritime calendars vanished. Today, only reconstructed models hint at how sophisticated their navigation might have been. One of the most captivating lost routes is the cinnamon route, a mysterious path through the Indian Ocean that delivered cinnamon to Egypt, long before Chinese and Southeast Asian sources were documented. How cinnamon traveled so far remains unclear. No texts describe the voyages. Yet Egyptian mummies contain traces of the spice, proving the route existed. Some scholars argue that early Austronesian sailors transported cinnamon westward. Others believe Arab traders conducted covert trips to protect their monopoly. Without ship logs, the truth is hidden beneath waves and centuries. The cinnamon route stands as one of maritime history's most alluring mysteries. Further east, in Oceania, Polynesian navigators charted routes spanning thousands of miles using stars, waves, and bird patterns. Their voyages connected Hawaii, Tahiti, Aotearoa, and countless other islands long before European explorers arrived. Yet because their knowledge was memorized, not written, most of their earliest routes were lost when colonization disrupted cultural continuity. Modern Polynesian revivalists have reconstructed some of these voyages, proving their ancestors navigated vast distances with incredible precision. But many of the specific paths taken by early oceanic explorers remain unknown, wiped out by loss of oral tradition and shifting island geographies. In the Americas, pre-Columbian coastal trade routes lined the Pacific. The Chima, Mocha, and later the Inca used reed vessels to transport goods along Peru's coast. Archaeologists found fragments of docks, paddles, and pottery in submerged settlements. These artifacts imply a sophisticated maritime network that dissolved after conquests and climate shifts. On the Atlantic side, indigenous Caribbean and Central American cultures also maintained maritime routes linking islands and coastal cities. Canoe carvings and stone anchors found underwater show that these societies conducted long-distance trade. Many of their early ports were destroyed by hurricanes, leaving little trace of their maritime history. What connects all these vanished networks is the fragility of coastal life. Ports depend on stable shorelines, yet shorelines rarely stay still. Earthquakes, tsunamis, storms, and rising seas can erase entire economies in a single century. As coastlines shifted, records disappeared, leaving only scattered artifacts to speak for once thriving maritime worlds. Underwater archaeology has become the key to recovering this lost history. Sonar mapping reveals submerged structures. Pottery shards reveal trade connections. DNA studies reveal migration patterns. Each discovery expands the picture of ancient global exchange, one far more interconnected than historians once believed. Many of these lost routes thrived long before writing systems, meaning their disappearance left almost no documentation. Their reconstruction relies on shipwrecks, coastal ruins, and scientific analysis of trade goods. These fragments, though small, are powerful enough to redraw maps of the ancient world. The story of forgotten maritime routes is also a story of human adaptability. When coastlines changed or empires fell, sailors forged new paths. When knowledge was lost, new techniques emerged. Maritime history is not linear. It shifts like the tides, always reshaping itself. Each rediscovered port or shipwreck challenges long-standing beliefs about how early civilizations interacted. Rather than isolated societies, ancient peoples appear increasingly connected, trading goods and ideas across oceans far earlier than once thought. These hidden networks reveal a world that was global long before globalization. The oceans still hide countless trade routes waiting to be found. Vast areas of continental shelves remain unexplored. Lost ports may lie preserved beneath sediment, and future expeditions will likely uncover new evidence of forgotten maritime worlds. Every discovery brings us closer to understanding how ancient sailors shaped civilization. The ancient maritime trade routes that vanished from all records were never truly gone, only hidden beneath the waves, waiting for the right tools and curiosity to reveal them. Their rediscovery paints a richer, more connected picture of human history, showing that long before borders and maps, the sea was our greatest highway. As exploration continues, the past grows deeper, wider, and more astonishing with every submerged story brought back into the light.